for the most part, when they come into our program, they don't have their children. They've got taken away from them, okay? So part of our job, and we make it very clear, that within the first part of your program, don't even talk to us about getting back with your children, because I'm working on you. Don't even get into the whole thing with your children right now. I'm working on you, because you'll lose your children if you keep this mindset. By the end of it, now we're talking to CPS getting their children back. 90% of the cases that we take on will get their children back, even after the 15 months, by the way. Okay? Now, so we have forms and everything to try to make it a little bit easier on you to accomplish a lot of this. Okay? The next thing I want you to do is to pray about it before you do it. Actually sit down and pray and say, Lord, is this something that you really want me to do? Ask the Lord. Lord, I know that this is going to take sacrifice. Am I ready to make that sacrifice? The move. The next part, after you prayed about it and you really believe that the Lord would have you to do something, now comes time for the move. You have to ask yourself, now that I'm ready, how am I going to make this move? We've pretty much established it in our congregation, because as soon as they're out of the 30 days, boom. Or let me take that back. As soon as they're ready, then we go ahead and put them into a mentor home. Well, I determine that, or Justine determines that, who's the administrator of our facility. Okay? For your home, if somebody's in your church and they need that type of help, you're the one that's going to have to figure that out. Or if you want to be a part of Gar's thing or our thing, or somebody that's already doing the first part of it, then you can get the second part of it. After they're already healed and they've already gone through the whole thing, have got saved, and they're on fire for the Lord, now you could take them and just mentor them in your home from that particular point. That I would suggest at first. Okay? That way you get to know them. I want the thing that is capitalized here, rules without relationship only brings or breeds what? Rebellion. Set all the rules you want within your home, but unless there's relationship that goes with the rules, you're only going to have rebellion. They will not do it unless there's relationship. It's the same thing with us in Christ. You're always going to rebel with Christ. You're always going to rebel against Him until you have a relationship with Him. There's a big difference. When you finally gain a relationship with Christ, you'll stop rebelling against the person that loves you the most. Okay? The family is one of the most important parts of the process. They need to exhort the addict to do things that need to be done. My children, all 4 of my children, are some of the best things that ever happened to the actual addict as far as their recovery. People that don't have children, it's a little harder. They demand a little bit more of your time. And you have to understand that at the first time that one of these people use the limbic system, which is their emotional system, set aside from the cortex, which is your analytical brain, okay, locks up. So the first time that somebody uses methamphetamine, the first time somebody uses LSD, cocaine, shrooms, whatever, it locks the midbrain up to where emotionally they are stuck at 13 years old. And the average user, by the way, is right about 13 years old when they get started. And so all of a sudden you've got this 35-year-old person, but they're trapped with the limbic system at the age of what? 13. It's very hard for us to even realize that. In fact, it's hard for us to deal with. Okay, it's like, I don't want to deal with you. You're just like a little kid. Well, yeah, duh. Okay, they're an addict. What did you want? That's who they are. That's the reality. My wife and I have sat and watched him argue over a cookie. I use this example a lot. We set a cookie on the counter. One girl called it. My cookie. She called it from a distance. Okay, just joking. You know, nobody was really going to take it serious. That's my cookie, until somebody else tried to get that cookie. And then all of a sudden you have 2 ladies that were fighting over this cookie. And we're just standing back going, I can't believe you're fighting over the cookie. For me, that's just out of the, ain't going to happen. Cindy usually, my wife's the type that, she'll go cut the cookie in half and give them both half. That's not how I operate. Cookie goes in the garbage.
Absolutely.
Cookie's in the garbage. What's that? Nobody gets it.
I'll eat it right in front
That's
of
right.
I'm taking the cookie. Okay.
Well, obviously I've done that too. But, okay? Cookie's done. And they do this. It's amazing. Or if they're irritated at the person, all of a sudden they're ratting them out. They'll come down, man, I'm going to tell you, you know what, the whole time, this person is upstairs, and you tell them to go up there and pray and everything. Oh, they pray all right. They pray, and then they go right into talking about their boyfriend or something like that. How come you didn't tell me a week ago? I don't know. Emotionally, Cindy and I always have a bunch of girls in our home that are anywhere from 25 to 50 years of age, okay? And they all act. 13, 14, 15. You might get a mature 16-year-old. But not generally. They'll still go upstairs. They're still going to do the childish things. Who used my hairspray? There was less hairspray in here. It's aerosol. How can you tell? I know the weight of it. Get a life. Okay? Get a life. You got it for free. Okay? We provided you with the hairspray. But that's their hairspray. Okay? Big difference. The family must remember that the addict will hurt the ones that they love the most. You. You first. They're going to hurt you. Before you end up graduating them from your house and helping them, you will go through hurt before it gets better. You can count on it. Okay? They're going to tell you things, horrible things, about you, about your spouse, about your children, about what they think, and I just validate it. I validate every bit of it. I said, man, if that's the way you feel, I guess I'm really going to have to pray about that. You know? I even told one girl, I was so dead serious about what she told me, that the next day about, we don't get TV at our house, but we watch movies. But we have what's called curse-free TV. And so what we play it on has a little box. And so you never hear any cursing. You don't see anything on there that you shouldn't see. It's on there. And hopefully nothing ever comes up. Every now and then a word will get by it somehow. I don't know how it does that. But in any case, she came down and she says, well, bottom line is there's violence in some of these things. And it really affects me. And I said, wow, you're right. And you know what? I said, I have been paying attention to that. People getting shot on TV and all that, you know, I don't know that that's very good either. And so I came down the next morning and I told everybody. I says, okay, I says, from now on, our movie nights, we're not going to have those anymore because it's really offending somebody here. And it's really, and all of a sudden she stopped for a minute. She goes, wait a minute. I got to apologize. I was just wanting to pick something. I just wanting to go after you for something. She says, this isn't really fair, you know, to not let everybody watch a movie that has somebody that, you know, somebody gets shot or something. She says, you know, it's just, that's my personal thing, and I just wanted to go after you. And I says, well, you have to understand it. Well, you tell me something, I'm going to take it serious. But it was good because they know now that you're at least listening to them. And I tell them, I may go after you about something, and I tell my whole congregation this, but if you see anything in me that needs help, tell me, even in the attic. I've been in school forever. And most of it deals with either psychology, sociology, or addiction, or whatever, okay? And yet, I can tell you that 90% of my schooling I could throw out the window and never needed any of it. Most of my schooling comes from the person that's sitting next to me in my home. I've known them for years, like the back of my hand. I know when something's up. I know when they're being too nice. I know when they're... It's like, okay, what are you doing? This one girl that Wanda just had was so nice. I knew something was up. And all I have to do is make a couple phone calls out there to find out if something really is happening. And then I get the information back. Something's happening, and she's not being truthful. So you just know by being with them. Your best education is walking through life with them. And it is, but don't be attached to the result. Okay? They're going to hurt you sometime. Okay? Helpful hints. Those are also in your book, so you don't have to copy them down. And there's a lot of stuff, and you could take, in fact, even on the thing you have today, there's little note-taking things that you can do in there. Okay? Never let the things that they say interrupt the plan that is in motion for their recovery. Right now, you have a plan. You have a ministry. Do not let them affect your ministry. The things that they say, the things that they do, don't let it affect you. You still keep on track, no matter what. You're running a race, Paul said. You keep running the race. Do not let them affect you. You stay on track. Let them follow you. Do not be caught up in their stuff. That's clear with everybody, right? You're the mentor. They're the mentoree. Okay? Always remember that the addict's going to lie. Thus, never be fooled. Always stress honesty. I reward people for their honesty. If somebody comes up to me and tells me something honest, okay, I'll reward them for that. You know what? That was really great. In fact, when your parents call, I'm going to see if you can't spend some time with them on Saturday or maybe even have a day out Sunday afternoon with them. Okay? Because that was really good. The only thing that I'll reward for in our house is character. That's it. Good character deserves reward. Narc on somebody, that's not a reward. But if there's character behind it, if you really care about the person, and you come to me caring about the person, saying, we need to be careful because, okay, there are no secrets in our home. Any secrets cost everybody. But if you care about that person, you're going to share with that person first, and you're going to let them know that you're going to come see me. because they shouldn't have said it. Okay? But don't just come and see me. I want you to approach the person first and say, I got to go see Pastor about this. And you can usually tell when that happens because you hear this, no, upstairs. Okay? If the addict leaves the house, never assume that they're going where they're supposed to go.